I was sipping coffee on the deck, watching the sunrise paint the ocean gold, when I heard the sound of tires on gravel. A car pulled into the driveway. Jennifer, she stepped out of the car slowly, her movements heavy and hesitant. It was clear she hadn't slept, her face pale, her eyes swollen from crying. We need to talk, she called up from the driveway. I didn't move. Then talk. Jennifer climbed the steps to the deck, every footfall echoing between us. Up close, she looked even more fragile, her hair a mess, her voice trembling. For a moment, I saw the sister I'd once loved, the one who used to braid my hair, sneak me her makeup, whisper secrets under shared blankets. But that version of her was gone, replaced by someone who had chosen her husband's comfort over my self-respect. I'm sorry, she said finally, but the apology sounded hollow. I should have asked before giving Kevin the keys. I should have stood up for you when he told you to leave. Yes, I said flatly. You should have. Her tone shifted, defensive now. But Claire, this calling the police, don't you think you've gone too far? You're going to destroy Kevin over a necklace. I met her eyes. A necklace that belonged to our grandmother, the last thing I had of her. It's just jewelry, she muttered. It can be replaced. No, Jennifer, I said quietly. It can't, and the fact that you think it can tells me exactly how far apart we've grown. Her expression hardened. If you press charges, Kevin could lose his job. He works for the city. A theft charge would ruin him. Then maybe he shouldn't have stolen from me. You don't even know it was him, she snapped. Then let him prove his innocence. Have him open his car, his pockets, his house. If he's clean, there's nothing to worry about. Jennifer's face flushed red. You're being unreasonable. I laughed softly. Unreasonable? I'm not the one who violated someone's home. I'm not the one who looked the other way while it happened. That was you, Jennifer. Her voice rose, sharp and bitter. Fine, you want to play hardball? Mom and Dad were planning to split the lake house between us, but they're changing their will. Everything goes to me now. You're out. A month ago, that would have shattered me, but now, I just looked at her and felt nothing. If that's what they want, that's their choice, I said calmly. But understand this, I'm done being the dependable one, the one everyone uses because I never say no. You made your choices. Now live with them. She stared at me for a long moment, her face trembling between anger and regret. Then she turned, walked down the stairs, and drove off. I didn't cry. I didn't feel empty. I just felt free. 3 days later, I got a call from Deputy Walsh. Miss Claire, we've had a development in your case. Could you come down to the station? I was there within the hour. Inside a small conference room, a detective introduced himself, Detective Barnes. We received an anonymous tip. He explained, said we should check a pawnshop in North Charleston. We found your necklace. My breath caught. You did. He nodded, sliding a photo across the table. Kevin's face stared back at me from the pawn shop's security footage, handing over my grandmother's necklace for cash. The timestamp reads Saturday evening, just hours after he'd left my house. That's him, I said, my voice barely above a whisper. We've issued a warrant, the detective said. Grand larceny. The necklace was appraised at around $4,000, correct? Yes, I said numbly. He'll be arrested within the day. As I walked out of the station, the reality hit. Kevin was going to jail, and my family would never forgive me for it. My phone rang before I even reached the car. Claire, what have you done? My mother's voice was shaking with rage. Hello to you too, Mom. The police just called Jennifer. They're arresting Kevin. You pressed charges. How could you do this to your own family? Mom, he stole from me. He pawned Grandma's pearls for cash. What did you expect me to do? Let it go. Family is more important than things. Funny, I said quietly, because Kevin didn't think family mattered when he robbed me. Jennifer didn't think family mattered when she handed out my keys. And you don't think family matters enough to even ask how I'm doing. You're making this worse. Kevin has children. You're putting their father in jail. No, I said firmly. Kevin put himself there. Her voice turned cold. Claire Marie, I'm your mother, and I'm telling you to drop this. Something in me snapped. Or what? You'll cut me out of the will. Stop speaking to me. Go ahead. I'm done pretending that family means I have to let you all walk all over me. You're making a mistake. Asterisk maybe, I said, but it's mine to make. I hung up and this time, I blocked her number, then Jennifer's, then Kevin's. One by one, I silenced every person who'd chosen to defend a thief over me. The quiet that followed felt heavy but clean like air after a storm. That evening, as the sun dipped below the ocean, I sat on the deck with a glass of wine. Footsteps sounded behind me. My heart jumped. But it was only Melissa Kevin's younger sister. "Sorry for dropping by," she said softly. "I tried calling, but it went to voicemail. I've been blocking a lot of numbers lately," I figured. She gave me a weary smile and sat down beside me. "Kevin was arrested this morning. Jennifer's a wreck. The whole family's furious with you, but for what it's worth, I think you did the right thing. Someone had to hold him accountable." I let out a bitter laugh. "That's not a popular opinion." "It is among the people he's hurt," she said quietly. Then she hesitated. "Claire, there's something else you should know. Kevin's in deeper trouble than you think." I frowned. "What do you mean?" When Jennifer went through his office, she found financial records, bank statements, fake invoices. Kevin's been embezzling from his job, nearly $50,000 over the last 2 years. I stared at her, speechless. He's been covering it up with falsified expense reports. Now that he's arrested, his employer's auditing everything. They'll find it all. "Does Jennifer know?" "She does." Melissa sighed. "She's torn between leaving him and standing by him, but I think she's finally seeing who he really is." We sat there quietly as the sun melted into the sea, painting the waves gold. "What's going to happen to him?" I asked. "Prison, most likely. Between your case and the embezzlement, he's facing serious charges. His lawyer's talking plea deal, but it won't save him." I looked out at the horizon, feeling the weight of everything that had happened. My family was broken, my sister was lost, and Kevin's life was unraveling. But for the first time in years, I knew one thing for certain. I hadn't lost myself. Jennifer had moved back in with our parents. The house she once shared with Kevin was headed for foreclosure. She had no idea how bad things had gotten. He'd hidden their financial collapse behind lies and fake reassurances. They were drowning in debt. I thought I'd feel vindicated. I thought watching justice play out would bring me peace. But instead, I just felt tired. Everything had spiraled so far beyond a stolen necklace. What began as one betrayal had shattered an entire family. "Do you think I did the wrong thing?" I finally asked Melissa one afternoon. She looked at me, her expression calm but firm. "No, Claire, you did what had to be done. Kevin needed to face the consequences. If it hadn't been you, it would have been someone else, eventually. It's better it happened now before he hurt more people." I sighed. "My parents hate me. They'll get over it. Or they won't," she said softly. "But you can't keep setting yourself on fire just to keep them warm. You deserve respect. You deserve to be treated like your feelings matter." I managed a faint smile. "I don't feel like I won anything." "Maybe not," she said, "but you didn't lose either. You stood up for yourself, and that's something." The next few weeks passed in a blur of legal updates and family drama that I tried to stay far away from. Kevin's arrest made the local news, which meant everyone knew. In Charleston's tight-knit marine biology community, gossip spread quickly. One morning, my research partner approached me gently. "Hey, I heard your brother-in-law got arrested. That must be rough." "It is what it is," I replied, keeping my focus on the sea turtle data in front of me. It was nesting season, long exhausting days, tracking eggs, and protecting hatchlings from predators. But the work steadied me. There was something comforting about focusing on preservation on creatures that had survived for millions of years by adapting. I realized I'd have to do the same. Then one Thursday afternoon, Deputy Walsh called. "Kevin's lawyer reached out," she said. "He's asking to negotiate a plea deal for the necklace case, restitution, and probation. The embezzlement case is still going to trial." "What do you think I should do?" I asked. "It's up to you," she said. "We have a solid case if you want to press charges, but if you're willing to accept restitution and a guilty plea, that's an option too." I hesitated. Did I want him in prison for stealing from me on top of everything else? Or did I just want closure? What does restitution involve? He'd pay the full appraised value of the necklace, plus damages for the property he destroyed, and he'd plead guilty in court. It would stay on his record. "Let me think about it," I said. That evening, I got an unexpected knock at my door. Jennifer stood there, thinner than I'd ever seen her, her eyes sunken and hollow. "Can I come in?" she asked quietly. For a second, I wanted to say no, but the defeat in her posture stopped me. I stepped aside. She sat down on my couch and started sobbing deep, broken sobs that seemed to come from the very bottom of her soul. I stood there awkwardly before sitting beside her. "I'm sorry," she choked out between tears. "I'm so sorry, Claire. You were right, about everything, Kevin, me, all of it." "Jennifer, no, let me finish," she said, wiping her face. "I was a terrible sister. I chose him over you again and again. I told myself it was okay because he was my husband and you didn't need me. You always seemed so strong, but you did need me, and I let you down. I stayed silent, letting her speak. Kevin's lawyer showed me everything, she continued. The embezzlement, the gambling, the lies. He's been deceiving me for 2 years. We're losing the house, my credit's ruined. His parents blame me for even thinking about divorce, and mom and dad act like I'm the one who's done something wrong. She took a trembling breath. He told me he found your necklace in a pawn shop, that he was going to surprise you by buying it back. And I believed him. I defended him to you, and he was lying the whole time. I know, I said quietly. I don't expect you to forgive me, she whispered. I just needed you to know that I see it now. I see what I did, and I'm so sorry. We sat in silence for a long time. Finally, I turned to her. I forgive you. Her eyes widened. What? I forgive you, I repeated, not because it was okay, or because everything can go back to how it was, but because holding on to the anger is exhausting. I'm tired, Jennifer. You're my sister. I love you, but loving you doesn't mean I'll let you hurt me again. Tears welled in her eyes again. What do we do now? Now you rebuild, I said softly. You decide what you want your life to look like. You figure out if you're staying with Kevin or walking away, and I'll do the same for myself. Can I call you sometimes? She asked hesitantly. I thought for a moment. Yes, but Jennifer, things are going to be different now. I won't be your backup plan, your babysitter, or your safety net. If we're going to have a relationship again, it has to be equal. I understand, she whispered, and I'll do better. I promise. After she left, I called Deputy Walsh and told her I'd accept the plea deal. Kevin would plead guilty, pay restitution, and it would stay on his record. That was enough. The embezzlement case would go on without MIT was his problem now. 2 weeks later, I stood in my beach house, breathing in the faint scent of fresh paint and sea air. I'd had the place deep cleaned, the carpets replaced, the locks changed, and a new security system installed. It finally felt like mine again. As I poured myself a cup of coffee, my phone rang, a number I didn't recognize. Claire, it's Melissa, said the familiar voice. Hey, everything okay? I just wanted to let you know, Kevin took the plea deal. 2 years in minimum security, then 5 years of probation. Jennifer filed for divorce yesterday. I exhaled slowly. How's she holding up? Better than expected. She's got a small apartment and started a new job as a medical receptionist. Mom and dad are barely speaking to her because she's not standing by her husband. But honestly, she's better off without them. And you? I asked. I'm good. Actually, I was wondering, I'm planning a girls' weekend next month. Just a few friends. Nothing fancy. Would you want to come? No family, no drama, just some peace and ocean air. I looked out at the sea, waves gliding toward shore under the morning light. I'd like that, I said. I'd really like that. Asterisk, after we hung up, I carried my coffee out to the deck and sat under the soft morning sun. My phone buzzed a text from my research partner asking about lunch, followed by another from a colleague inviting me to speak at a conference next month. Life was moving forward. It wasn't the life I had once imagined, nor the family structure I thought I'd always have, but it was mine, entirely, unapologetically mine. I thought about my grandmother, her frail voice whispering her final words to me, stay curious, stay strong, and I'd stayed strong when it would have been easier to crumble. I'd stayed curious enough to imagine what life could be if I stopped accepting the bare minimum of respect and started demanding what I truly deserved. Upstairs, the necklace sat in my jewelry box, cleaned, polished, and back where it belonged. But now I understood something important. I didn't need that necklace to remember my grandmother's lessons. They lived within me, woven into every boundary I set, every decision I made, and every time I chose myself. Asterisk, asterisk, here's story continues. If you want what happened next, subscribe our channel and wait for the next part.